Hello and welcome to episode 55 of Booming Your Bottom Line, the very first episode for 2016. We're kicking off this year right by practicing what we preach. We're leading with giving, not just by continuing to bring value to our small business owners that listen to this podcast. We're really celebrating 2016 and the start of a new year by giving away $1,800. I'm not kidding. We're giving away access to our new Booming Your Brand marketing training course to one lucky person. Now, you'll get all the details about that at the end of the show today, so stay with us.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Look, guys, we're doing this because it's our job to help you make sure 2016 is your year, the year you get your small business running on all cylinders. The year this adventure you've embarked on gets you a clear path about where you want to go with your success and your income. We want to do that because we understand what it means for you to win. Every single one of you needs to win this year and start winning big every year from this point forward.
Yeah, so ending the year last week, we talked a lot about winning in our podcast. And if you missed it, it was a doozy, so be sure to go back and check it out. We discussed what it really means to win in terms of your business as well as your personal success. We shared what it means to your community and the people you serve. Now, last week was meant to stir those dreams in you, to get your blood boiling again and get you motivated about running a better business and serving boomers better than you are currently, including what it could mean to your life. And we wanted to follow up this week with a serious battle cry. Now, if we had time, I'd cue up Mel Gibson's Braveheart speech here, but you get the idea.
Oh, William Wallace, yes. You making it big in 2016 with your own small business and specifically by serving boomers? Well, I have to tell you, it's a way bigger deal than you realize. Doing it right and in a huge way by succeeding and scaling your business up has the potential to touch tens of thousands of people who need you now and or very soon. And it provides stability that your community is going to desperately need in the next 2 to 3 decades, which, by the way, guys, that's the remainder of your own career at a minimum. Of course, there's the alternative. You could not step up. That's a real option for you. Stay on the fence, keep sitting on the sidelines watching, keep doing that scraping by status quo, inaction. Yeah, that's an option. It's a choice, but I'll be honest and frank here for a moment. If we don't get enough small businesses across the nation supporting these older people, it's quite simply going to suck for a lot of people, like millions of people. And don't kid yourself. That's going to include people that you know personally, even people you love in your own life. But that's up to you.
Look, we're not screwing around here, folks. This is serious stuff. We've got to get this right as a nation. I mean, sure, it'd be awesome if money fell from the sky and everything was fixed on its own, and we never had to worry about if some older person we care about is going to have what they need. But that's just pure fantasy, and it's not going to happen. The government can't fix this. It falls to me and you, the collaborative us. It's up to small business owners to get ready to do what we do best. Support this country, one client, one community at a time. It's time we stand up and join together and get this right, or we're going to be drowning as a result of this inaction, swallowed up by the aging boomer wave that is right upon us now. So that's why this week we're looking at the opposite of winning. What does losing at this challenge look like? Why can't we afford to lose? Now, I promise, as depressing as you might think this sounds, it's meant in sincerity and honestly to give you a kick in the pants. I mean, motivation that some of you need today. No more kid gloves here. It's time to get real. We're talking directly to you today, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this message. You're tired of constantly chasing down new leads just to close way fewer than you'd hoped. You're sick of spending hard-earned money on advertising that doesn't work. We know you are. That's why we created the Booming Your Brand marketing training to help you learn a proven and repeatable system to market your business to the right boomer customers. This course walks you through a proven system we created to teach you how to set yourself up as the local expert, reach and educate way more new customers, ease sales conversations, and earn more income than you ever imagined. These methods work for every business owner that makes them part of the way that they do business. So stop spinning your wheels, stop doing what isn't working, and instead start doing something that will actually grow your company. For more details, just go to boomingyourbrand.com. For a short time, we're offering a 30% discount. That's over $500 in savings. But you must act fast to get the price, so don't waffle. Act now. Go to boomingyourbrand.com.
Okay, so what does losing at this national challenge we're all facing mean in terms of your own small business? Obviously, if your revenues decrease, your own income and standard of living goes way down. That alone is a tough pill to swallow, and not something we want you to have to experience. You've got a lot riding on your company personally. You provide for your family and loved ones, right? Plus, you built something. You chose to hang your own shingle. You put a stake in the ground and created something important with your own blood, sweat, and tears. Look, we know getting a small business off the ground is not for the faint of heart, but you've done it. Losing this challenge could mean that that dream you've created is gone if you're not carefully planning and growing and working to get your company bigger and further ahead. It also means that your local economy suffers. Look, if you close up shop because you didn't succeed or succeed enough, there are fewer dollars being spent, less people working, less money moving through the local economy. You see where all this could go? You need to understand it. It's not just about elder care or boomers or any one industry or company. We're talking about all businesses here, all across the US and the world, actually. Everything we step up and take on or make the conscious decision not to has a ripple effect. Not taking action, not growing your company, each and every one of you, it weakens the whole economy. Your community needs you to step up, and you probably heard the phrase, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we don't want to spend too much time talking about negative things and the what ifs, but I have to point out the next thing that's quite likely going to happen if small businesses don't step up to the plate and take on face to face this giant called an aging America with better services, more products, and growing small companies. Now, I'm sure you've seen it before, maybe in your own hometown. Big business moves into your city with their machine of services around caregiving. Think about it. If you were a big caregiving conglomerate, where would you set up shop? A community that has a strong local caregiving infrastructure where there are lots of quality local options, competition is strong, and people are well served? Or, as a big business, would you first cherry pick? Would you start by looking for places that had a small service business to population ratio, places where there was little competition or limited options currently, and still plenty of people that needed help? Exactly. Of course, you'd opt for the latter. Now, I'm not saying they'll never move in. They may already have, or that you can wholly stop them from looking in your area. But they'll be less likely to move in and squash everyone else out of business if they're having to scratch and claw to get in and get traction to make it pencil for them because you're so successful.
Right. Yeah, that's perfect, Mark. And I want to take it one more step, all right? Just a little deeper than the previous discussion. And this part truly comes from the heart here. I want everyone to understand our passion and our mission here at Booming Your Bottom Line. So I need to say it this way. What does it look like in your town if the boomers in your community don't have small businesses to help them with all the things they'll need? When very soon 21% of your population is over 65.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, have you ever stopped to think about that? Really, I mean, close your eyes for a moment and picture it. Do you know what that really means? Now think about this. And it's a quote from The Next America, a Pew Research project, and talking about how boomers are going to manage in retirement. And they say, quote, but the status quo is unsustainable. Some 10,000 baby boomers will be going on Social Security and Medicare every single day between now and 2030. By the time everyone is in this big pig in the python generation and drawing benefits, we'll have just 2 workers per beneficiary, down from 3 to 1 now, 5 to 1 in 1960, and it was more than 40 to 1 in 1945.
That's crazy.
I know. And that, frankly, is going to be the new reality for your town, your city, and your county, our nation. 2 workers per boomer, paying in for 1 taking out. This is about them having people around to help them when they need it. This is the boomer and caregiver challenge we have right now staring us in the face here in the U.S. If you want the income, if you want to help more people, you're going to have to take the lead. You're going to have to go get it. Seriously, if we don't get our act together in this country, older people are going to suffer. Millions of people.
Very true, Aaron. So if I could, let's take this from the previous discussion about the masses to something more of a personal side. I'd like us to think for a minute about Sally. Now, she's a great lady, full of life and still lots of fire in her. She's now 66. But let's take a look at Sally in the future, 10 years from now. Her husband Sam has passed away a few years ago. They had about $285,000 saved in various investments and assets before he got sick. But in his last 3 years of life, he was very sick, and they had lots of medical bills, and their nest egg, it dwindled to about $160,000. Now, a year after he's gone, she fell and broke a hip going to the basement laundry room of her 1950s home. She can't get around like she used to, and she has some long-term health and care needs.
Yeah, it makes sense. This happens every day, Mark, and we hear these stories all the time. But here's the problem. That home remodeling business you, the small business owner, started in 2004, tapered off during the recession and didn't grow again during the recovery out of fear from the past. And that big business moved in. You're out of business now. You're just an employee again somewhere else in a different industry. Your old competitor, Jim the remodeler, he went belly up a few years ago as well. And the three other remodeling companies still in town that she could find won't call her back. They're too busy now. And that big in-home care company that came to town, they can't start working for her for another 6 months because they have a massive waiting list. She can't find anyone to help for the moment. Finally, she gives up and just decides to deal with it. 4 months later, she's in an ambulance after another fall. She's on her way to the hospital. After a few days, they tell her she can't go home again. Her children live thousands of miles away, but someone in her family is going to have their own life upended too, now dealing with her new overnight reality. She'll spend away that remaining money in about 1 year based on her new medical and housing needs. Then what? It just keeps going, digging deeper, getting harder for her, and now her next generation as well, the one she wanted to leave a legacy with. I know adult children who have lost their homes due to foreclosure with all the money going to or missing work and paychecks caring for a parent. This can cripple multiple generations very quickly and spiral out of control. We talk to people every week with stories just like this one. Mark and I have been doing this for over a decade. Not a pretty picture, is it? Well, now I have to ask you to do this. Multiply that by 1,000, 10,000, maybe 100,000 people in your area. How many depends on the population of your own community.
Families in distress, local economies in a tailspin, big business coming in to capitalize on the chaos for big profits. That's the demise of local communities, of families you know, savings accounts people have, and more. It kind of sucks as a forecast. And I'm telling you, we cannot let that happen.
I agree, Mark. And you and I saw this coming a decade ago before we even met and joined forces, right?
Right.
But that's exactly why we got together, to create Booming Your Bottom Line, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We had a combined 20 plus years of educating people around subjects like aging in place. But we figured out it was time to leverage our knowledge and really help consumers by focusing more of our time on the small business owner. How to make a difference, grow their company, gain traction in these applicable industries. That is why we teach how to reach and connect with more boomer clients, help more people, earn more money, and even be able to give back more to our communities. I mean, we love what we're doing now. We are up for this challenge, and we need each and every one of our listeners to get on board and share the message. This isn't about us and ours. It isn't about you and yours. Look, there is so much work to go around.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn what we teach, get it right. You could tell 10 competitors, the guy next to you at lunch about us. You'd still all have plenty of work engaging with the boomers and their families correctly in a way that touches them, resonates with them, creates trust and rapport with them, in a way that allows you to educate them, get seen as a local expert by them, and get referrals from them. That is what BYBL teaches. That is what Booming Your Bottom Line is all about.
Yep.
That's what we believe. That's what we built in 2015. That's what we're going to deliver to you all year long in 2016. And that is what we're so excited about in this new year.
Heck yeah, that is the truth. And that's absolutely why we're here. We are on a personal mission to make small businesses across the U.S. stand up and do what this country, what these boomers and their families need them to do. Step forward, take charge, tackle the challenge, grow your company. If you do that, you won't need to worry about making enough money to stay open or keeping out corporate. Keep your local families happy, healthy, and at home and in their own neighborhoods. Keep our boomers and their families working independent, autonomous, and being active and vital in their own communities. When you do your job as a business owner, these boomers can keep doing the great things that they do for your community. Boomers spend more, they give back more, they donate more time and money, they have more education and knowledge to share, and we will need to keep that information and those finances flowing in each of our towns and cities by taking on this challenge. Let's do this in 2016, folks. Now is your time. We're here for you, and you need to step forward and step up, make the required changes, and get this train moving.
Yes, you do. Thanks for listening today. We wish you all the success that you want and dream about in 2016. Dig in, drive hard, push the envelope, and make those changes that you need to make personally and business-wise to get you to the next level this year. Until next week, be well, be bold, and boom your bottom line.
Hey y'all, did you stay to the end? If you're still here, you get to enter for that free $1,800 training we're giving away. All you have to do to enter is go to Facebook or Twitter and post, "I'm growing my hashtag small business in 2016 with an amazing new training called hashtag booming your brand." And then the URL, http://boomingyourbrand.com. And we'll collect these entries for the next 72 hours and then select one at random. Now, if you weren't able to write all that down, you can watch the video on YouTube or at our website, and we also have the link that you can copy and use on the website. Good luck, everybody, and hopefully we'll be contacting you with news that you're the winner.